All right, Aaron, thank you. This week on Good Morning Maryland, we are introducing you to each candidate running for mayor in Baltimore. Voters in the city will find 4 choices, and one of them is running as an independent businessman, Bob Wallace.
Yeah, he's an entrepreneur. He's built 3 businesses in IT, energy, and web learning services. Now he wants to be the next mayor of Baltimore. We have WMAR2 News' Mark Roper live over at Morgan State, where some people can start voting in less than a half hour today. Mark, you talked with Bob Wallace recently. What do you know about him now?
Good morning, Christian and Ashton. Well, Bob Wallace describes himself with a very lengthy resume, from growing up in Baltimore's Cherry Hill neighborhood to attending Poly High School and Ivy League schools to working in corporate America, traveling the world, writing 8 books. But the one thing he doesn't call himself is a career politician.
You wouldn't know it from watching Wallace interact with potential voters on the street that he's never run for office before. So why now?
The path that we're on as a city is going to end in a bad place if we don't change it. So we got to change leadership and we got to change direction. And, versus complaining about it and pointing fingers, I'm the kind of guy, I guess the engineer in me is the businessman in me. Hop in, do what I can to make it better, right? And then help people do better.
Most candidates running for mayor of Baltimore City recognize crime, education, and economic opportunity as the 3 biggest issues facing Baltimore. He has an ATM, ask, tell, make approach to addressing violent criminals in the city.
So I'm going to ask you to stop, and I'm going to help you by bringing resources to the table to help you young man, mostly young men, make a better choice, right? Whether it's job training or workforce development or behavioral health services or housing issues, what is it that we can do to help you make a better decision?
But for a city approaching a 6th year of more than 300 people killed on its streets, is that enough?
If I ask you, then I'm going to tell you, you got to stop, right? Now, if A and T don't work, then M will work. That means make. What that means is I'm going to bring the resources of the city, the state, and the federal resources to get you off the street.
Wallace promises, if elected, he will create 100,000 new jobs within the first 4 years of serving in office.
That I attract $1 billion of new investment, all right, to the city in my first term. And that money primarily will be focused in neighborhoods and people who have been disinvested in and ignored for decades. So we're going to take the zip codes that have the highest unemployment, the highest poverty, and we're going to start there.
It's part of a commitment to model the future success of Baltimore against the city's once similarly struggling neighbor to the south.
Businesses came back, investors came back, entrepreneurs came back. You try buying a property in D.C. today, right? Even a row house like this, it'll cost you millions of dollars. Baltimore is where D.C. was 20 years ago. When I'm mayor, we're going to do it in 10 years.
One question some voters may have for the independent mayoral candidate is whether this Mount Vernon residence is where Wallace calls home. State tax records show Wallace and his wife have a house in Howard County.
We have property in many places, so I don't deny that. What I'm saying to you is that I've been here since 2005. I'm paying up close to a $500,000 in property taxes. Property taxes are in Baltimore City and taxes here. So I'm contributing to this society and to the city and to its economy.
And if elected as mayor, Wallace promises it won't be Baltimore politics as usual.
I don't owe anybody any money. I don't need any side envelopes. God's been good to me. I built my business, raised my family. I'm good. What I want to do what's best for Baltimore City and the people of this city.
Now, the businessman's approach to running the city with a declining population includes a sale and leaseback program for various city assets, as well as consolidating some services. Well, tomorrow on Good Morning Maryland, we'll talk with a Republican candidate, Pastor Shannon Wright. We're live in Northeast Baltimore. Mark Roper, WMAR2 News.